When you hire Morgan, it's like bringing in Morgan to a Morgan fight. I'm John Morgan of Morgan and 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 Morgan.
So as my mom and dad would say, right before they tucked us in at night,
Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and
Morgan and
Morgan and Morgan.
It's a family tradition. Morgan and
Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and
Morgan and Morgan and
Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan.
Good Morgan, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, November 21st, 2022. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Happy no work week, America.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. And last but not least, making the magic happen, he has finally taken out the boss. It's Jerome. There he is.
Hello, everyone.
Hey! He defeated the final boss. JD, what's up, Jerome? How's it going, man?
Everything's good on this end. JD's just hovering right here on
Yeah,
this
he's right
side.
there. There he is.
yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Nah, you're in control. You're in control.
All right.
We love it. Don't break anything over there. And if
I'll
you
try
do,
not.
yeah, don't worry about it.
We have 3 days to figure it out.
Exactly. Shout out to the stream team for joining us live right now on YouTube. Take a second to like the video, comment away, subscribe, and thrive. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. My guy Tassie's got on the No Dunks shoelaces. Sort of TBJ throwback.
Absolute
Forgot
classic.
about that one.
Yeah. When I put it on, feels right.
Yeah. Good.
It's a nice design.
It's a nice design. Good design.
Go to nodunks.com for that. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com. You never know we're going to hit the beach. And check out yesterday's No Breaks podcast where TK and Graydon did their 2022 F1 season wrap-up. That was a lot of fun.
It's over, baby. It's over.
Congrats on a great season.
Congrats on a great season and a great final episode because Graydon came through with an actual decoration
Oh my God.
for the Classic Factory, or should
is
we say
beautiful.
the ASIC Factory.
Oh my God. So for those listening right now, TK, explain what we're showing.
I don't want to because my dad listens to the show. It's Valtteri Bottas swimming nude in a stream in Colorado.
Incredible.
Booty out. Bottas, booty out.
And you could buy these, right? It was for charity?
It's for charity. This is for a
That's
good cause.
Great. We'll have to hang that in the Classic Factory.
Want me to hang it right now?
I mean, you could. Sure. I mean,
It is an incredible.
No, don't. Jerome's got a lot on his plate already, all right? We'll save it. Save it for after the show. And you should treat yourself to the Athletics deal of the year, $1 a month for 12 months. Yes, that's right. It's the best value you'll see for incredible sports journalism. Take advantage of this special offer today. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. I'm going to apologize in advance right now.
Yeah, I was going to say a little.
I sound like shit. I look even more like shit than normal. I am extremely sick right now. I had a flu or cold or something going around. Bad bug, so at some point I'll be blowing my nose or coughing up some mucus and yeah, just power through, all right?
It's like Lee's back with the nose blowing, not necessarily
I don't
with
have
the
a
sickness.
cleanie. Yeah, I don't have I just got a bunch of Kleenex right here. Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Kleenex.
Yeah, there you go.
Use promo code NODUNKS.
That's a good deal. Anyways, that's a great deal. It doesn't get better than that.
The Kleenex deal?
No, not
Oh.
the $12 for a year of
It's
the
incredible.
Athletic.
It's incredible. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks.
Set a reminder and cancel in 12 months. We don't care. There's probably going to be another good Black Friday deal then. You can resubscribe. It doesn't get better than $12 for a year of the Athletic.
That's right.
That's right.
$1 a month. Very, very cheap. Okay. We have an action-packed Monday podcast here, as we always do. Our winners and losers of the NBA weekend. Let's start with the winners. That just makes sense. And Tass, why don't you get us started? Who's your big winner of the NBA weekend?
Well, the Warriors jumped out at me, and I know a lot of people say, stop talking about the Warriors. It's a sub-500 team. Hey, you can't deny it. They had a great weekend. Friday morning, which I think is when the weekend starts. Is that right, Trey? Weekend start on Friday. They had a meeting after their shoot-around, and they said, let's air it out. Let's address all these elephants in the room, as they said. Draymond did most of the talking.
What?
Yeah, he said, we don't play defense. And he spoke directly to Klay. You got to trust the game, my man. And don't shoot every single shot that you can. Get the ball around, move it around, and it'll get back to you. And they watched film, and Klay said, yes, I agree. I've been forcing it a little bit, and then versus the Knicks on Friday, he was a lot more patient. You could see it in the highlights. My man, Anthony Slater, don't call me AC Slater on The Athletic, wrote about it. It was a nice performance from Klay. He hit what felt like the dagger with a swish. A few minutes left against the Knicks on Friday. He was 8 of 16. First game all season, he's hit 50% of his shots.
Wow.
And Klay, after the game, said it just felt incredible to have an efficient night from the field. He also said that swish felt so good. He said it was just amazing to feel a swish go through. He also said Draymond is an incredible leader, so you can see the Draymond influence coming through there. And he said that all while folding a paper airplane during his post-game press conference. Classic Klay. So the Knicks had beaten the Jazz and the Nuggets coming into that game. So, listen, it's a mediocre team the Warriors beat, but Klay felt better. And then on Sunday, it was the Klay show.
Oh, yeah.
So it just rolled over from Friday. They went on the road where they had been winless. They had lost all 8 of their games. It was a tight game late against the Rockets, which isn't a great sign, but the bench stunk again to bring the Rockets back. And they finished off an opponent finally on the road. They had lost a lot of games late, Orlando, other ones throughout. They just weren't able to finish off teams. And they're up 3 with a minute 30 left. And Klay hit a 3 that he knew was going in. He backpedaled. Klay was just in that good mode. He knew it was going in. His 10th 3, unfortunately, wasn't a swish. But anyways, it was his 10th 3, giving him 41 points. 14 of 23 shooting, 10 of 13 from 3. His three-point percentage went from 33.5 to 37.5.
Wow, quite a bump.
Yeah, quite a bump. And then the next possession, which was amazing, Steph Curry being defended by Eric Gordon really, really well in those throwbacks. Eric Gordon pushed him out beyond the three-point line, and Steph hit a fade 3-bomb that looked just like a prayer. And you can see the Rockets bench, the assistant coaches, the players either throw a towel down or just throw their bodies on a chair. Like, what are we doing here? That was his 7th 3, so 17 combined from them. And then Wiggins hit 6 threes, which is the most between 3 players ever in an NBA game. I was kind of surprised by that.
10 from Klay,
Yeah,
7 from
23.
Curry, and then 6 from
Yeah,
Wiggins.
23.
That's a lot of threes.
23
guys.
through 3 players.
Yeah.
And the record is 29 overall, so for an entire team throughout the game, so it sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks to Anthony Slater for that stat. The Warriors now 8-9, so still sub 500, but feeling better in terms of Klay. The defense has to be better. Mm-hmm. That's still slacking. There's no doubt. Steve Kerr said that they're a Drew League team in terms of defense. He was asked about Wiggins hitting 6 threes. Oh, that was good. He said, no, he's got to get better defensively. So they still have some things to work out back-to-back against the Pelicans on Monday. But a good sign for Klay.
Yeah.
He has been struggling. And, Klay feeling right is important to this team, obviously.
Yep. Any thoughts on the Warriors there? Klay's sort of breakout this weekend?
22 for 39 on the weekend. So maybe Draymond told him don't take every single shot, but if you do, you might as well make it. Good stuff from Klay. And he was getting the ball in a lot more standard Klay Thompson sort of positions. Not as much dribbling, not as much forcing, much more in the flow of the offense, I thought. But still a ton of turnovers in this game against the Rockets. And they had to get 23 threes from Steph, Klay, and Wiggins to beat a team that's the worst in the Western Conference right now. So you still got to be a little bit nervous if you are the Warriors, but at the very least, they seem to be on the right track with Klay. And if Klay and Steph are hitting, you're in every single game. The problem is that they still gave up like a 13-0 run with their bench in the second quarter, but eventually Steve Kerr just decided not to play the guys that played in the first half, which was smart. So more Draymond on the court seems to translate to a little bit better defense. No surprise. Great wins for the Warriors here.
Yeah, it's one step at a time maybe for Kerr and the Warriors. Get Klay unlocked, then really improve the defense, and then maybe figure out these rotations here and get something from the bench. All right, let's keep it moving. TK, what do you got for winner of the weekend?
Complicated winner of the weekend here.
Okay, go on.
The boys went down to the Fortress Saturday night for Raptors-Hawks. Might have seen the game of the weekend, to be quite honest. Back and forth game all night, 10 ties, 10 lead changes. Neither team was up more than 9 the entire night, but let's fast forward to the end of regulation. Tie game, 10 seconds left. Raptors ball. OG Anunoby gets the ball in off the inbounds play. He eventually gets into a dribble package here, and he's going to work his way to the left side of the court, where he ends up taking a tough step back jumper. OG kind of had it going a little bit this night, and Not a terrible shot here to get off. He gets the ball off, too, with what, 3 seconds? Couple seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes, offensive rebound, misses a layup. Another offensive rebound, misses the tip. It trickles out. OT.
Ugh.
The boys were simply distraught. Shades of Jonas Valanciunas all over again.
My buddy Grish is shocked. Tass is shocked.
My buddy
Jerome.
Grish is still there. He told me at this very moment the Hawks are going to win.
Yeah.
So I was feeling good for the Raptors in that
for
moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe Scotty missed that first layup.
Oh, the first layup is tough. And then the one that's like bounces on both sides of the rim. Tough stuff. In overtime, though, it became the A.J. Griffin game. 8 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 2 huge offensive rebounds. But most importantly, after OG Anunoby made 2 free throws to tie things up with 3.8 seconds left, the Hawks inbound the ball.
What a play.
To DeJounte Murray, who hooks up Trae Young right away, like a hook and ladder kind of play.
Yeah.
Bryce Drew all over again. A half-court alley-oop to A.J. Griffin wide open underneath the hoop. Lays it in under at the buzzer, and it's pandemonium at the Fortress. Tass Mellis left home alone by his parents over the Christmas holiday, unfortunately.
I had to salute it.
It's
a hell of a play.
Honestly, that was an awesome play. After having no timeouts as well, because it
Yeah.
came after a make, so, during the timeout, Nate McMillan saying, if he makes this, we've got something locked down here. They went and they ran it. It worked perfectly. It seemed like the Raptors were kind of caught by surprise that they had such a play ready.
Yep.
And you could tell because A.J. Griffin just wide open underneath the hoop all by himself. Just a delicious twist that his dad is an assistant coach for the Raptors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, was he happy? Was he sad?
Oh, he was pumped. He said he finally beat his dad.
I meant his dad.
Oh, his dad.
Of course,
Oh,
of course
conflicted.
AJ's happy. That's the best game of his career.
Yeah, conflicted probably.
Yeah, I
Probably
think-
on one hand, he's like, damn, our team lost, but yeah, that's my son.
I bet he's 100% happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they were going to him on the Hawks broadcast. I was looking at my phone during the game, looking at a bucket scored by AJ. Shot of Adrian Griffin. He was holding back the smile. He wanted to give. He was so pumped. Right in front of him as well.
Yeah.
Literally right in front of him in the second half and overtime. Yeah, that was his game. He was balling. He's not the most athletic dude, but he still has a dribble package, and he's gonna get even better and better and better. And he's part of this rotation. He ain't going anywhere. He's just good.
Yeah, it's nice to see Nate McMillan playing him. And that's why you draft. Like sometimes you just draft on pure talent, and then get them some reps. And he's delivering right now. That was an incredible play at the end. Because usually in those situations, it's like get the ball to Trae or get it to your superstar. Let him dribble and fire one up from half court ish. That
I thought that's
we see
what he
that
was
all the
gonna
time.
do. Yeah, I was like, that would have been a smart play to just get Trae Young a pretty open look from 3-point from 35 feet. It's a tie game at that point. You're probably happy taking your chances there. We'll see if we can win it in double OT. But no, finding Griffin underneath with enough time to get the ball up to the rim, pretty sweet.
Yeah, who was the button hook that got the ball first initially?
Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then a quick handoff to Trae, who's sprinting. And now it's a decision for OG Anunoby. Do I stay back with A.J. Griffin, who was basically in front of the Raptors bench, just came out of frickin' nowhere. I didn't even know he existed. I didn't know he was there. He was just sort of on the sideline like a Jose Alvarado offensive play, just kind of waiting there. And Anunoby went after Trae. They should have ended it a lot earlier. I know OG had a good game, and they kept going to OG over and over and over again. I wanted a little more Fred playmaking at the end. Fred was just an off the ball, hanging out in the corner. This dude who's been doing it forever was just sitting there. And to me, it sort of felt like, okay, you're giving OG the reps to just help him out later in his career, almost, it felt like, later on in the season, at the very least, later on in the playoffs. But it was, sort of worth it, because that didn't feel like a regular season game at all. You could see Trae Young looking up at his the six-man crew there at the end of the game. He was feeling it. For a regular season game, yeah, the vibes were great. And, yeah, definitely the game of the night, the game of the weekend. I felt great because I didn't really on a Saturday night I want to catch up on every single game, but that was easily the game of the weekend.
6 p.m. start here too,
which was
kids
nice.
night.
Kids night.
That's right. You had a lot of Atlanta sports this weekend. You went to the Falcons game the next day, is that right?
I'm a guy that likes sports.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
I consumed a Raptors loss and then consumed a Bears loss.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was taking L's all weekend, Skeets. It was good stuff.
And
Yeah.
we'll get to your Chicago Bulls too. A
Oh
little bit later.
yeah, they're leading the second block. You can tell where they're showing up.
Yeah. Let me give a winner of the weekend to the Sacramento Kings. Light the beam, baby. Just keep it lit. They beat the Pistons there on Sunday, 137-129. Extended their win streak to 6 games. which they haven't done since like 05, 06. Like it's so
good
far
old days.
back that they've
Brad.
had a win streak like this. Now they're playing the Pistons. Okay, this is one of the worst teams in the league. There's no Cade Cunningham for them, but Sacramento closed the game on a 15-5 run. Their whole way they tackle games this year is just like, we are gonna score. They are a Drew League game for the most part. It's like tons of scoring, and then we're gonna play a little defense for like 3 minutes and see if we can pull it out. And they've won so many games like this. Fox was huge in the fourth quarter. He had 10 points, hit 2 big free throws late, and Sabonis, I thought, was making play after play on both ends of the floor. Offensive rebounds, and then defensively, he finished with 15 points, 13 boards, 7 assists. He was getting beat up in this game, too. He was cut all over the place. His arm got cut. They had to stop the game to get that under control. He got cut behind his ear. He got clocked upside the head. But this guy just kept fighting, especially with those boards late, to pull out the victory. And this place, Sacramento, chanting "Light the Beam." And I want Kings fans, I know there are people out there going, what are you doing celebrating this win over the Pistons? You go a 6-game win streak. Oh, who cares? You're basically 500. Who cares? Ignore the haters, Kings
Your
fans.
sick voice is even deeper.
Ignore the haters.
For that
Celebrate
impression.
this. This is a feel-good story in the NBA right now. And this team, after losing their first 4, have won 8 of their last 10 here. And again, they're not doing it defensively. It's all offense, except for a couple minutes where they sort of lock down, at least in this one. And it's fun to watch, and I love having Sacramento with just an entertaining fan base. They've always been there for this team, despite being garbage for 16 years. And so let them celebrate a little win streak. Why not? And this Light the Beam thing is fun. It's like it's weird, but it's sort of come about organically, where people have at least latched onto it. So
They should have started lighting this beam a decade ago.
I guess so.
The beam is the key.
I
It
know.
gets everybody on the same page. Everybody wants to see that beam, right? I don't know. I look at pictures of the Sacramento skyline now.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. But yeah, that was an incredible win. A win-win trade, you have to say. Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis. Halliburton's balling for the Pacers, and it feels like the Kings don't miss him at all right now, especially considering, they've got their own good rookie again this year. And Keegan Murray. Fox has certainly leveled up, and Kevin Herter has played incredibly well. He's another guy who got hit in the face a ton of times last night. He got called for a foul for hitting a guy with his face, which was very weird. Also, Malik Monk got ejected from this game for accidentally flexing into somebody. I guess he had a technical foul previously. Certainly a taunt, so he got tossed, but he's been playing really well, too. The Kings are one of the best things going right now.
Absolutely. And their fans were real loud, regardless of whether they should be celebrating a 6-game win streak. They were just great fans in that building. And as you said, keep the beam lit. Do we know when it's de-lit?
I don't
When
know.
do they turn that
I'm
thing
not
off
sure.
after a win?
How long
Like
does it stay on?
3 a.m. or something, maybe?
Automatic
that night?
timer?
Yeah, it's a good call.
Like
They
Oh,
gotta
that's
have an
true.
automatic timer.
Yeah.
I like it, though, that it came about while they got hot this season, while they're playing above 500 basketball, rather than, 09 or 010 or 11, because they could have just been a laugher. They could have been laughed at because of it. I think it's the first time they've had a 6-game win streak in 1,400 games or something to that
so
effect.
long.
It's very long. Bibby and Brad and all those dudes. But great for them. Yeah, obviously, they can celebrate. Now, the win streak may be kind of masking some of the deficiencies, right? But that's, who cares? Who cares right now?
The schedule's about to get tough. Their next 4 games, first 3 of them are on the road. They got the Grizzlies, the Hawks, the Celtics, and the Suns. So I don't think the streak is going to continue to 10 games, but, can they play 500 ball over those 4 games? We'll see. De'Aaron Fox, too, just to show him some love. Of 15 qualified players averaging at least 25 points per game this season, he's averaging 25.4. He owns the highest field goal percentage in that group at 55.8%. Which is, like you put it, that was a great way to put it, Trey, leveling up. That is what he's done here, and he's actually getting at it on the defensive end, too, which they keep talking about. So you're seeing that from your leader. And Sabonis got some Vlade Divac, sort of at the top operating out of him. He's not smoking the cigarettes, unfortunately. I don't think so, at least. But, they go to him, and he's such a playmaker for a big guy. I like the comparisons there. So the Kings, a winner of the weekend. But let's get to LadderGate. Come on, baby. A winner of the weekend instead of a loser of the weekend. I was interested.
I think so. I think undoubtedly a winner of the weekend. Hilarious drama in Philly on Friday night. Bucks, Philly. after the game, I think there are clearly 3 winners with this LadderGate drama.
Okay.
So just to paint the picture here, the 76ers won. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in Philly. Giannis struggled at the line. Bad night at the line, 4 of 15. So naturally, the guy puts in his work. He goes back onto the court to shoot some free throws. He starts missing his free throws, as a matter of fact, while he's practicing. And Montrezl Harrell, the Philadelphia 76ers, also wants to go get some work in. So he comes on the floor. He sees Giannis shooting on the floor. He says, "No, sir, not in Philadelphia." Right. He grabs the ball after he shoots a free throw and won't give it back. And Giannis just standing at the free throw line saying, "What are we doing here? Is this grade school all over again?" Giannis said post-game that he asked Harrell, "Hey, you want to shoot with me? You want to shoot? Let's shoot some free throws together." Montrezl Harrell said, "This ain't Milwaukee. Get out of here." So to me, Montrezl Harrell is a winner. I know he's acting a little petulant, sure.
Yeah.
But he's become a fan for life with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
You have to do that. You just have to. That's sports. We're all children here. They're playing in jammies. We're cheering for people playing in jammies. It's fine. Anyway,
okay.
So Giannis doesn't have a ball anymore, so he's screwed. So he goes to the back. He gets 2 balls. He goes out.
That's my favorite detail of the whole thing. 2 balls. Very funny.
Gets 2, so if somebody takes 1, he's good. Anyways, so he's shooting on a rim. He goes towards a rim, and then the Philadelphia 76ers, the staff there has to fix something on top of the backboard. Apparently, they take down video equipment every single game.
Sure.
So they're up there doing their thing, or they're trying to get up there to do their thing. Giannis yells at them and says, "Hey, can you get out of the way?
Right. I gotta hit my free throws."
Yeah, and he moves it slightly, not a lot, just to get it out of the way. He goes back towards the free throw line. They move it right back, right in the way, and he gets right back there and pushes it over. And so Giannis, a winner, absolutely, because there's probably somebody who's written a 4,000-word article about Giannis's work ethic, right? It's Kobe-like. This guy will not stop. But also a winner, I think the Philadelphia 76ers employees there, the staff, the technical crew, for, again, doing what Philly fans should do. I assume they're fans of the team. They should not let Giannis Antetokounmpo. I tried to do the investigative work as to whether or not they had actually completed their work and just put the ladder in there. But either way, even if they had to do the work, if they hadn't do the work, if they had done their work and just put the ladder there, huge winners. Philly fans gotta love them. And if not, they're just trying to do their work. So I think they're a winner. I think Giannis is a winner. I think Montrezl Harrell is a winner. Giannis, I think, didn't get to shoot. After that, and he also brought out his bro, Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Yep.
He wanted to go out. Thanasis came out there to talk to Montrezl because he's a bit of Giannis's bodyguard to some degree. And
Sure.
They had a chat. Nothing came of it. But listen, Giannis is struggling. Not only 4 of 15 that night, but 4 of 11 the previous night. So the Athletic was all over that story. So I woke up Saturday morning enjoying that.
So this is a reason why you love the NBA. It's a great. Like, only in the NBA could this be a story, I feel like.
Yes. I mean, what would Giannis expect, though, going onto the opposing team's floor to shoot free throws?
Well, this happens all the time is the thing. Like, this isn't new. It's not like, oh, my God, this guy's in our barn after the game shooting free throws. Apparently, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
People go get work in.
Yeah.
Maybe because they didn't play, like, Montrezl Harrell a lot of minutes, or they want to work on something because they were struggling. And then Montrezl Harrell just like, no, not on my watch, man.
Well, Montrezl played some minutes. He had a good game. But
Played like 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he had a good. I guess. Anyways, it was a good small lineup that he played with big boy Paul Reed. But anyway, they go up. But you're in Philly, so people are going to voice their complaints.
Well, thank God the ladder didn't hit anybody.
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
God.
that's the winner.
That would be very, very bad. Like, unintentionally. It's not like he was, like, knocking it over to try and hit somebody, but, like, he just tries to push it because he's pissed off. Like, why won't anybody let me shoot free throws? And then it, like, sort of gets caught, right, and then falls down. Doesn't hit anybody. It's a giant-ass ladder. I guess it could have hurt. So thank God that didn't happen. I wish it was Embiid instead of Montrezl Harrell, though, because it would give new meaning to the MVP ladder, which would be a lot of fun to me. But, Montrezl Harrell's not going to be in the top 5 of the MVP race, I don't think. When do they play next? That's the real question. Because this is going to, like, spill over into that game, right?
I suppose.
Got to. Giannis is pissed. I guess Montrezl Harrell's pissed.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets on the court.
They're playing Philly, yeah.
Giannis wasn't that mad. He's just like, hey, you wanna shoot free throws with me, buddy?
He was mad after he came back, and they were
Yes, and they wouldn't let him shoot. And the fishy part is monstrous ladder to get up onto the backboard, 13, 14 feet high. But when they were working on the other rim, they pulled down the backboard like you can, so it's like at 5 feet.
Yeah.
So fishy stuff. Why are they working on a 15-foot rim rather than a 5-foot rim?
What do you think of LadderGate?
I don't know. I mean, like, Giannis should be able to shoot free throws. This was the biggest play that Montrezl Harrell made that night. They don't play again until March. We'll see if they still remember.
Not till
and
March.
and they're done playing in Philadelphia, unfortunately. So Montrezl Harrell's going to get booed a lot, I do believe, when they come to Milwaukee. But at least we got a little spice between these two teams. They've been some of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. They've got two big guys, each of them, that are going to go against each other at some point. That's cool to have a little bit of extra beef here, but I think Giannis should have been allowed to shoot free throws.
Do you think opposing fans will start showing up with like ladders, like little cutout ladders in the crowd?
I think
try and get them rattled at the
Bucks
line.
should pass out ladders for that game against Philly, at least.
Pass out ladders.
Well, yeah, like hand ladders.
Oh, okay. All right. I love that idea. Let's hear from everybody. Are you team Giannis? Are you team Sixers when it came to LadderGate there on Friday night? Or are you just loving it like Tassie was for a win of the weekend? Trey, let's keep it going. What do you got?
Big weekend for the Utah Jazz. They lost 3 straight last week. I thought maybe the tide has turned on this team, but au contraire, mon frere. They beat the Suns and the Trailblazers back-to-back on Friday and Saturday, and both of those are really good wins. I'm giving him winner of the weekend more specifically for Friday night because Lauri Markkanen also gets winner of the weekend for that game. Career-high 38 on Friday on 15 of 18 shooting. That includes a dagger turnaround jumper with about 40 seconds left, rocking the purple mountain jerseys as well. He followed that up with 23 and 10 against Portland. It's hard to have a better weekend than the Jazz did this weekend. The Suns and the Blazers were both at the top of the Western Conference. They were both top 10 defenses, and the Jazz went out and put 134 points and 118 points respectively on them to move into first place in the Western Conference. At this point, it's almost impossible for them to tank because they have so many more wins than the worst teams in the NBA right now, like the Houston Rockets. Like, they're already 10 games clear at this point, so might as well just roll with it and see if you get one of these pick swaps or if any of these other first-round picks seem to hit because it's just too good for the Jazz right now. They seem like an early season surprise. Maybe they tail off as the season goes on, but at the very least, they play really, really hard, and Will Hardy has figured out how to get the best out of Lauri Markkanen. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they're halfway to their over-under win total,
Wow.
Which was 24. They're at 12-6 and have had a real road-heavy schedule. Yeah, not fading. Lauri Markkanen not fading whatsoever at this point. Feeling good.
Winner of the weekend to Anthony Davis. AD, 30 points, 18 boards.
Interesting.
As the Lakers beat the Spurs 123-92 on Sunday. They won their third straight game, the Lakers did, for the first time since the first week of January. Man, we're talking about all these streaks that haven't happened in a while. But AD is on one right now. 38 and 16, shooting 62.5% against the Nets 3 games ago. Followed that up with 37 and 18, shooting 60% from the floor against the Pistons. And then yesterday, like I said, 30 and 18, shooting 63% from the floor. He's leading the Lakers in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. Look, these teams they beat, taking advantage of a somewhat easy schedule. Like, the Nets are a super small team, so you want to see AD just destroy them. The Pistons, no beef stew. Okay, he destroyed them. And then no Jakob Poeltl even for the Spurs there on Sunday, so he did his work. But this is what Lakers fans, this is what even LeBron, it sounded like coming into the season, expected. Now, LeBron's not even playing in these games right now. But it was like, all right, AD, you are like the 30 and 15 type guy, and then I'm filling in around the gaps, and then we'll go from there. So Austin Reeves played well on Sunday, hit a bunch of threes. He's got to continue to play. Westbrook is playing solid off the bench. Another 10 assists coming off the bench. He did hurt his, I believe it was thumb, but I think the x-rays are negative. They got Thomas Bryant back, Dennis Schroeder back. LeBron will return at some point. So Lakers slowly getting it going here, but I just think that AD thing where it's like, oh yeah, when AD plays like this, you're like, oh yeah, he is maybe like a top 10 guy in the league. But then he'll do it for a week and then he'll unfortunately get injured or disappear in second halves like he was early in the season, so hopefully he can continue to keep this up. But he was looking pretty dominant against subpar competition.
Pretty bad competition.
Yeah.
All small front lines, all missing their best center, but that's what the Lakers need from Anthony Davis. He should be shooting inside way more often than he's shooting outside, and that's what you see in these past 3 games. He's taking far fewer jumpers. Maybe part of that is having Westbrook on the bench, not out there as much. No LeBron living in the lane as well.
Yep.
There's a lot more space for AD to operate, but he's taking advantage of it right now, and the Lakers just need to stack up some wins. So shout out to him, putting the team on his back a little bit here.
Yeah, easy schedule coming up for the Lakers these next few games. This is when they have to get closer to 500, as they sit at 5-10 right now. Thomas Bryant coming back helps AD. He's a big man, sort of a journeyman in the league, but he can do some things as a backup big right now. Just 2 games into his Lakers career, will he end up starting beside Anthony Davis? Maybe, to help him out on the boards, because I know people see Dwight Howard in Taiwan doing his thing, and they're saying, why can't Dwight Howard be doing this for the Lakers? Well, they have hope that Thomas Bryant can do some of that. Dennis Schroeder also coming back, as you mentioned. Hilarious comment from Kyle Kuzma, his former teammate with the Lakers, on Dennis Schroeder's post on Instagram saying, save the season, man. And Dennis Schroeder said, oh, you bad for that one there, Kuz. Those 2 guys are rotation players, and they desperately need them to help. But they got to win now.
Yeah.
Now. They're 5-10. They have to get closer to 500. That being said, the Western Conference and the NBA, there's a lot of teams that are in that glut of 500 teams. So they can jump up the standings if they do win some games here and get into the play-in tournament picture.
All right, let's take our first break here on Monday's podcast. When we come back, we will get to losers of the NBA weekend.
Guys, streaming services, I love them. Love them. Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max. I love them all, but Paramount Plus, do I need it?
Nah.
I mean, no, not really.
You want Tulsa King?
Survivor.
Well, sorry, exactly, but I can't watch Survivor I have to watch it that night, and it doesn't appear till the next morning. That's why I got Paramount Plus, but we got a show to do. I'm hearing Peacock is where it's at, though.
They all got something, man. That's the
I
thing.
know, that's the problem. That's the problem. The point is, I'm wasting my money, and you may be wasting money as well on subscriptions. Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions. Hold my beer, when the actual amount is closer to $200 or more. That's where Rocket Money comes in. Ever heard of Truebill? Well, it's called Rocket Money now. The app shows you all your subscriptions all in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. When I signed up for Rocket Money, I realized I still subscribe to Showtime. What? What's on Showtime even?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. I never go on. It's been months. Get it out of here. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for, like I just said, Showtime. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. How does that happen? I don't know. I know that I get PlayStation Plus stuff all the time, just random charges. The kids say it's like the Netflix for video games, but I'm not so sure. It's different every time, so I gotta look into that. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/NoDunks. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/NoDunks. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now at rocketmoney.com/NoDunks.
I live in Atlanta.
Yep.
I like watching the Hawks, but if you've been listening to the show the past few weeks, you know I haven't quite cracked the code on how to watch Hawks games on League Pass. Even though I got that Primo subscription,
Yeah, what's
somehow they're
going on?
still blacked out. I don't get it. But apparently, the answer to my question is ExpressVPN. Here's how it works. The NBA offers League Pass, duh. Lets you stream games online, but if you live in the US or Canada, it doesn't let you watch all of them. Facts. So you fire up ExpressVPN and use it to change your location to a different country. Then you use League Pass from there and boom, no blackouts. Sometimes you gotta take the walk to Poland just to end up back in Atlanta. ExpressVPN works on your computer, phone, router, and even consoles like Fire TV, so you can watch all the games from any device. You can use ExpressVPN all the time for stuff like Netflix or Disney Plus to access thousands of extra shows that are only on other countries' libraries. ExpressVPN is the most trusted VPN, and if you use our special link, you'll get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/NoDunks. Pro tip, You can even use ExpressVPN to sign up for NBA League Pass at a huge discount when you're in a different country. That's expressvpn.com/nodunks for 3 months free with a 1-year package. expressvpn.com/nodunks.
All right, still here in the Classic Factory. Time to get to losers of the NBA weekend. We already teased it in the A block. TK, your Chicago Bulls.
Oh, just an absolute disaster class from the Bulls on Friday night. They stunk it up in the first half of their game against the Orlando Magic. I turned the game off at halftime to watch The Crown. It was the Charles and Camilla Tampon Gate episode.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
That was
Spicy stuff.
I'm intrigued.
Disgusting.
No, you don't. Yeah.
You ever
Still
tell your wife you want to live inside her trousers?
No. No. I told her twice, and she said, ponder replay.
Nonetheless, I thought this was a garden variety Chicago Bulls dud. They've had a lot of them recently. Last Sunday, they laid an egg against the Denver Nuggets. They had another bad one on Wednesday against the Pelicans. I thought that's what this was on Friday. But much to my surprise, the Bulls tied the game with a minute left. So I turned it back on, and I saw the Bulls take a 4-point lead instantaneously off 2 huge Javonte Green energy plays. The United Center was bumping. Our guy John was in the crowd. He said it was lit. And then 20 seconds later, it was a disaster. After some free throws cut the lead to 2, the Bulls had the ball. Vooch goes to the line with 12 seconds left. Needs to make 2 to ice the game. Yeah. 1 is acceptable. Yeah. There's an old Nordic saying we say in our household all the time. Yeah. What do free throws do? Win games. Yep. He missed both. Rebound to the Orlando Magic. Ball gets to Jalen Suggs. He hits Io with a step-back 3. Game blouses. A terrible loss for the Bulls. Just straight up. Even worse because it was against the Orlando Magic, who they had the Vucevic trade with. Right. We got Cole Anthony on Instagram talking trash. The guy didn't even play in this game. Zach LaVine went 1 of 14, got benched down the stretch. He was sniping at Billy Donovan after the game. Right. Bulls are down bad big time right now. They're on a losing streak. They've got 7 of their next 10 on the road against some good competition. This is kind of the crucial stretch of the season for Chicago right now. We talked about blowing the team up last week. I said no. I am no longer a hardliner on that one. I still think no tank. But if people are calling and saying, hey, I need those 14 points from Vooch, you got to hear them out. If somebody wants to maybe give you a first-round pick for DeMar DeRozan and his 40 points that he can get every single night, just see what they're offering, you know? Take some calls and stuff because this was a pretty bad and sad loss to the point where people who aren't Bulls fans are starting to ask what the problem is. And that's when you know you've become the problem in the NBA. Not good.
It's great that you have slightly altered your mind from, blow this thing up to potentially retool, because I like that. Because even if you trade Vooch, the record's not getting any worse. Like they're 6-10 right now. Vooch is 32. This is the best Vooch you're going to see ever in the NBA.
This is the last Vooch we're going to see on the Bulls, I think, as well. Right. His contract comes to an end at the end of this season. I can't imagine they'll be paying him a whole bunch. So if somebody is interested, I would take a pick in the 20s, maybe even the 30s.
Wow. It sucks because they gave up 2 first-round picks for him. But sunk cost. That's my Nordic saying, sunk cost theory. Just move on. Even if you traded 2 first-round picks and the return's not going to be anywhere close, it could be a pick in the 30s. What are you going to do? Move on and at least retool, because they do have a lot of their own draft picks. So hopefully they can straddle this line of trying to get better in the future rather than trying to do it now and then tear it down. Because right now, again, as we talked about last week, it was a great question on Beach Steppin'. Part of the answer is you're not going to be able to deal with the young teams for years here in the Eastern Conference. The young and up-and-coming teams like the Cavs and the Hawks and even the Celtics and the Bucks, you're worse than those teams. Right. And it's a bad place to be with an old Vooch, an older DeRozan, who will be playing great for a long time. But, yeah, I think some retooling is part of the future here.
And what do you think about the benching of Zach LaVine, who had a stinker of a game, and then his comments after saying, I got to basically be out there? What did Bulls fan Trey Kirby think about all that?
Well, I mean, he was stinking it up, man. He was
Yeah.
1 for 14 on the night, and he's not giving it to you defensively. But I do agree with Zach LaVine. He could probably make a free throw. So,
Yeah.
I don't mind having one of your better shooters on the court when you're playing a free throw game. But I don't mind seeing a coach questioning, or a player questioning their coach, Billy Donovan, right now, because I think he's got some questions, certainly, to answer. And if players are starting to put pressure on him now, maybe that leads to some change eventually.
He might be on the hottest seat. Billy Donovan. Probably one of them.
He's on one of the hotter seats
Yeah.
right now. They've lost, 5 of their last 6? And like I said, they're going on a crazy trip right now. No, I lied to you. They've lost 6 of 7 and 4 straight.
Ooh.
Vucevic is shooting 88% from the line this year. Not a lot of free throws, but wow.
Yeah, because he always fades away from contact. He doesn't get fouled a lot.
He doesn't. But he's 76% shooter from the free throw line for his career. I just wanted to check that.
I knew he was missing
solid.
one when he went to the line. I'm like,
Yeah,
he's going to
that's
miss one
fine.
of these for sure. And then he bricked both.
Yeah, both is bad.
Do you think after the game he went out and tried to shoot around, but the Bulls staff wouldn't even let him shoot around? Ladders
finger.
everywhere. Yeah, ladder match. All right, Tass, who do you got for a loser of the weekend?
Well, the Philadelphia 76ers, not so much for what happened on the floor, but looking long-term this season, what happened on the weekend, I think, it's a bad omen for their playoff chances. So what happened was they beat the Bucks on Friday, as we talked about in LadderGate there, but they lost Tyrese Maxey in the first half of what was probably his best game of the season. 23 points and 5 assists, and it wasn't even halftime, and he's going to be out a month with a foot injury. They already lost their starting guard, James Harden, as well. He's going to be out for the next couple weeks. Also a foot injury, and he's got to get back in shape. So how long is it going to take for them to get their starting backcourt back? That just means more work for Joel Embiid. And this dude, as we say in sports, has been a workhorse. Since he got back from injury, his usage rate was 42% going into their second game of the weekend against Minnesota. That number is ridiculous. It would lead the league. It would lead the history books. That is just so much, the most that anybody has ever done. So I think that's going to be even more. Now, they came back and fought against Minnesota. They're down 20 without Harden and without Maxey for the first time. And they made it close against Minnesota on Saturday night, but they ended up losing. Now they're 8-8. Embiid, an MVP candidate. We saw him drop 59 a mere week ago. But now you're going to ask a lot of a guy physically to carry a team in a regular season throughout this next 6 weeks. As you're, again, 500 team, you got to try and get better. And then to do it in the playoffs when that has been a question mark. So I just worry about the long-term viability of this team. Can you really... Is it scientific for me to say that maybe they can turn it around? No, I don't know. It's just more of a feel thing. But cohesion is also an issue with this team because they can't practice. They had 4 straight days off last week. And no Harden in there. And guys like Tobias Harris is now out with a hip issue. Korkmaz was out. Even Maxey and D'Anthony Melton couldn't practice during those days. So the cohesion of a new squad is a bad omen. And... it's just one of those things, like, when are they going to get it around? In 2023, or when are they going to get it together, I should say? Maybe in 2023, but like that's a while from now. Maybe they could be the Celtics, but somebody has to take some pressure off Joel Embiid, and that's not going to happen for a while. So I think it's a bad omen looking forward, even though they had a 1-1 weekend. But they're just 8-8.
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of teams right now in the NBA that are, like, missing a whole lot of guys, and I will go with another one for loser of the weekend, the Miami Heat, sort of in a similar boat there as the Sixers. Now, Friday night, Kyle Lauri and 6 of his friends, they nearly went into Washington and got the win. They lost in overtime, just came up short. Did you see the score in overtime of that Washington-Miami game? Good old 3-2. Classic overtime basketball. But Miami had just 7 healthy players. They were forced to dress Gabe Vincent, who was out with a knee injury, but you have to, like, meet that NBA requirement to have 8 players in uniform, so he's dressed, but he can't play. Lauri played over 50 minutes. 36-year-old Kyle Lauri played over 50 minutes. Had a triple-double. Played a really good game on that Friday night, but they came up short because they just didn't have enough bodies. And then Sunday, okay, they get Bam back, but they just got steamrolled by the Cavs, 113-87. So no Butler still, no Hero. Duncan Robinson has a weird injury where I think his finger got caught like in a jersey in practice and stuff like that. Cleveland went on a 21-2 run in the second quarter. They opened up a 19-point lead, pushed that advantage to 31 in the second half, and it was over. And the Heat are 11th in the Eastern Conference right now. And a lot of, like, they're missing all their guys. I just said, like, their main guys. But, they're 7 wins here, sort of like similar to the Sixers here, where it's like just missing these guys, you don't get the chance to actually grow as a team. So a rough weekend for the Miami Heat here in a conference where a couple other teams were picking up wins and separating themselves a little bit.
It's interesting that they had to dress an 8th guy and had to play, because a couple of years ago, remember during the COVID era, if you had 7 guys, you forfeit.
Yeah, what?
Play another day. But I guess the reason is
true.
You could be making up excuses.
Yeah.
And just say, nah, we don't want to play tonight. All our guys are injured. But it's interesting that I know in the COVID times you couldn't suit up a guy because of COVID, but maybe you could just shove him down in the hallway and say he's dressed, so it's an interesting way about going about things. But you mentioned that the Wizards get that win. They win 2 games this weekend.
Yep.
The Pacers get 2 wins as well this weekend. I think so those 2 teams are 5th and 6th in the Eastern Conference right now, the Pacers and the Wizards. The Pacers could have been a loser because Aaron Nesmith, he got the post-game interview on Friday. Everybody excited, dumping water on Aaron Nesmith, and he slips on the water.
No.
Could have been a big groin injury right there.
Yeah.
But he stood up, and he was okay. FYI.
Good. Got to be careful. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Too much water. Put towels down.
I don't know. I guess hadn't had a lot of post-game interview experience because you don't move. Yeah.
Don't try
it's like
to
ice
move.
out there.
Yeah.
Just don't move.
Let's do a little injury roundup. You already said the Tyrese Maxey one, missing approximately 3 to 4 weeks with a foot injury. But we also had Grizzlies' Ja Morant. He's week to week with a grade 1 left ankle sprain. Damian Lillard, he's going to be sidelined once again for 1 to 2 weeks with a new calf strain. And then we had Jazz guard Mike Conley Jr. Avoiding major knee injury, but he's going to miss at least 2 weeks. 4 guards here. Sort of a tough question to answer, but Trey, which one of those is the most concerning to you of Ja Morant, Lillard, Mike Conley, or Tyrese Maxey?
I think it's Ja Morant. Just because his concern kind of like builds on other concerns with the Grizzlies, with Desmond Bane already out. Jaren Jackson Jr. is returning from injury, so he's kind of a halftime player right now. And the Grizzlies are struggling, honestly, already. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and they're terrible in fourth quarters right now. Keith Parrish at Fast Break Breakfast mentioned that in their last 5 games, the Grizzlies are last in points, 3-pointers made, and every single shooting percentage. And that's been mostly with Ja Morant out there. He missed their last game. But if he's not going to be out there for fourth quarters, if they don't have Desmond Bane out there for fourth quarters, it's going to be pretty tough on offense. For Memphis, also their bench just isn't as good as it was last season. They were awesome when Ja missed time last year. I think 21-4, something along those lines. But Kyle Anderson's gone. DeAnthony Melton's gone. Now they're playing a ton of rookies and guys who were kind of on the outskirts of the rotation last year. They haven't been as good as the vets were in the 2022 season. So if Ja misses a lot of time here, it could be tough stuff, I think, for Memphis.
Yeah, and Desmond Bane's got a toe injury, so he's not going to rush back from that. He's got like a week to 2 weeks at least for him to come back. Yeah, along with Jaren Jackson Jr. It's piling up there. I feel like the Damian Lillard one, even though the reports are from Chris Haynes that it's not the same part of his calf.
Yeah.
Same calf, but not the same part. The soleus muscle. The what? I had to look that baby up. I wasn't familiar with the soleus muscle, but apparently it shouldn't be anything to worry about, but it seems like a recurring injury, same part of his body. So even though the Blazers will be fine in terms of picking it up with all their dudes, it's still a slight worry because it's, again, a similar stiffness in his right calf. So I'm just a little worried about Dame coming back and being fresh.
I think to answer the question I asked you guys, because you already talked about it, but the Sixers here with Maxey, this is like the longest of all of these injuries in theory, missing up to a month, and they already have Harden out, and you went through all these other guys on their roster that are not in the lineup. Like, it's going to be Shake Milton time here, baby. Can he come through? He had a really good game on Friday. He had 15 points and 6 assists, but he's going to get an opportunity here. Feeding the ball to Joel Embiid and just seeing if he can carry them to some of these victories. But man, they are banged up because Thibault and Melton, they're playing, they're suiting up, but they're not even like practicing. So just everybody right now is banged up or has the flu like I do.
And
A lot of people missing time.
Yeah, and the Conley injury I think is a worry, just because when you've got a team like the Jazz who rely on so many guys to be very good, and then you take one of those guys out, and they were able to win against the Blazers. But Conley, number one, older. It's a couple weeks, could be longer than that. He just made everything go. Even though he's the fifth name we talk about when we talk about the Utah Jazz this season, he makes every single play for them. Everything does go through him, even though Clarkson's their other guard. So I'm worried about a Clarkson-led team doing what they've been doing. So that is a worry.
The other crazy thing from this weekend, and we witnessed it down at the Fortress, and then it happened basically again in the Mavericks-Nuggets game, was this idea of like playing the end of the second quarter at the start of the third quarter a couple times. We saw it in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was like 0.3 seconds.
Nothing
really happened. But it was like this thing where like, well, technically we got 0.3 seconds. All right, let's just do it. Okay, here. It was like, wow, we don't see this very often. And then last night, I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, I
saw
it.
And it was pretty instrumental because who was it? Chanchar or whatever?
Yeah,
hit like a 60-foot bomb, and they ended up winning by 1. So like they redid. What happened was Luka hit a 3 at the end of the second quarter. They eventually looked at it. They're like, oh, we think he was out of bounds. Okay, well, then we got to play the final 3 seconds. Denver ball. And so they did this at the start of the third quarter again, or like, I mean, the end of the second quarter, but the start of the second half. And he hits the 3. And it ends up mattering in the final score, at least.
Yeah, because they win.
Yeah.
A fellow Slovenian, Vlatko Čančar. Apparently, I heard Keith Parrish say this on the Daily Time. That's the play they run for Čančar. He is their.
He's their Chris Bosh from deep.
He is their 50 to 70 foot specialist.
Ooh.
That's who shoots their shots. And so, yeah, I saw that tweet coming through. You never see this. Them playing at the beginning of the third quarter. I was about to say, ha! We saw that. We just saw that.
I know.
But it was a little different. They came back. In our game, there was half a second. They just inbounded it, and the fake buzzer went for the second quarter. This time they ran a play, and dude hits a 3-point shot.
Yeah, because in the Saturday game, the Hawks just left the floor. The Raptors were hanging around, if you remember, before they went into the locker room. Then they finally were like, all right, I guess we'll...
It was like a tip at the end of half or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That
It's
left
really
0.2
weird.
seconds on, yeah.
It's very strange that it
I
happened
would have
twice.
charged that one to the game.
Yeah.
0.2 seconds is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seconds, something that can obviously happen. The career highlight of Vlatko Čančar.
Oh, what a name.
Vlatko Čančar is actually Slovenian for John Konchar.
Well done. All right, those are our winners and losers of the NBA weekend. Look, we left a lot out there on the table, so you tell us in the stream team or listening later, tweet at us at NoDunksInc or leave it in the YouTube comments. Who are your big winners and losers of the NBA weekend? We got to take one more break. When we come back, pick 'em results and tweet of the night. If you own crypto and leave it on the exchange where you bought it, you're a dummy. That's a mistake. You've heard the news lately. Exchanges closed, accounts frozen. And some people are learning the hard way. Crypto on an exchange, not really in your control. So what can you do? Get a secure crypto wallet and control your crypto yourself. You need Zengo, the simple and secure crypto wallet. Crypto wallets come with a private key that you need to secure. If the private key gets lost, hacked, stolen, poof. Say goodbye to all your crypto, all your NFTs. Oh no, my ape! They took my ape! Zengo realized this and said, there's got to be a better way. We got to keep apes with the guy who got the ape. So Zengo created the crypto wallet you've been waiting for. It's controlled by you, so unlike an exchange, no one can access your crypto but yourself. But at the same time, Zengo removed the private key vulnerability, instead using a type of cryptography called MPC that until now had only been available to billion-dollar institutions. So here's what that means. 1, your Zengo wallet, fully recoverable. That's nice. 2, your Zengo wallet, a hacker's nightmare. Hackers are like, oh no, not Zengo. We'll never get his ape. And 3, your Zengo has built-in live 24/7 support with real people directly in the app. So keep your crypto and your wedgie NFTs, look them up. They're real. With next-gen tech the big guys have been using for years, thanks to Zengo. Download the Zengo app from the App Store or Google Play. That's Zengo, and use the code NODUNKS to get 0% fees on your first purchase of up to $1,000 when you select Banksa as your purchasing option. That's code NODUNKS for 0% fees on your first purchase via Banksa. Terms and conditions apply. See the site for details.
I am running a half marathon on Thursday on Thanksgiving. I throw it in air quotes because I am on the slower side. And also,
You're still a runner, man.
Yeah. Everyone's a runner, whether you walk or run. Like if you walk, do you say you're a runner? Because I know the slogan
Okay, maybe
is.
not that. Maybe not that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But you're running. I've seen you.
Thanks. I take my foot off the ground. It's not like I'm power walking.
Yeah. Chris Paul in that commercial.
Gotta have a foot on the ground at all times. I don't even know that commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not seeing all the commercials you guys are doing in the NBA season. Anyways, I'm on the slow side, but also I didn't train all that well. I gotta admit, the NBA got in the way. Late night snacking got in the way. There's no doubt. But I did do enough of the running. I did have enough of my program, my scheduled. I had big plans, though. I did most of it, but I had big plans to do running and strength classes. But the strength classes they went by the wayside. I am already planning my post-marathon strength workouts. Do you do strength workouts while you do marathon running?
Not a lot. No.
You miss out, man.
I know.
It feels so good.
I should be in the pool. I should be on the bike. I should be doing all this. Yeah.
Yeah. Take some pressure off the joints.
Absolutely, Tass.
No doubt. Anyways, I can't wait for a couple weeks from now. Already planning it. Getting back in the gym with Jess Sims. My girl Jess Sims on Peloton. Love her playlist. Or Rebecca Kennedy. It's not just boring strength stuff with Rebecca Kennedy. She moves in mysterious ways. She does just different things. We just wiggle and stuff. It's great. It's just fun in there. Anyways.
The wiggle workout.
Yeah. She just does some weird stuff. I didn't know my body can move like that. And I am getting into it with Peloton very, very soon. And this year, you can too. Peloton is gifting you their best offer of the season. Get up to $300 off accessories when you purchase a Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread. Shop from a variety of accessories such as cycling shoes, a heart rate monitor, and more. All excess membership is separate. Offer starts November 14th and ends November 28th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Okay, pick 'em results from Friday night. We had the Thunder Grizzlies game. Memphis was favorited in this by 6.5 points. Tass took the Grizz, and they covered for you. Thunder kept it close, but pulled away in the end, so that's a loss for Trey and I. I'm 9-4. Trey's 6-7. You're 4-9 here in the month of November, and here's tonight's game, Tass.
Big line. The Bucks are favored by 8.5 points at home to the Portland Trail Blazers, who will be without Damian Lillard. Hence the monstrous line. Skeets and I still think the Bucks can cover, win by 9 or more. Trey, you got the Blazers to lose by 8 or less, or come out with the victory. Why do you like the Blazers in this one, Trey?
Dwayne's in town. He's a Bucks fan.
Okay.
I can't be pulling for the Bucks while he's in town. Are you kidding me?
This is your father-in-law.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I'm going Portland here. I'm hoping it's a guys being dudes kind of win. You know.
Yep.
No Dame, so everybody else has got to step up and keep it within 8 points.
8 Eastern start. Dwayne will not be sleeping until at least halftime, probably. Or is he a late night?
Second quarter, Dwayne will tell me he's going to bed.
Okay.
But then
Fourth quarter, he'll wake up.
yeah, he's gonna go pee.
Yeah, I'll be down there watching anyway. So he'll just come out every 8 to 12 minutes. How are we doing out here? All right, I'm going to bed.
All right.
Didn't you go to bed
10 times?
45 minutes ago? Yeah. I heard the game. Oh, what's going on out here?
Can you take a video of every time he comes out tonight? That'd be a great montage.
Absolutely, I will. I definitely will.
Is there some Dwayne the Bladder jokes going on? Dwayne the Bladder, like drain the bladder, but his name's Dwayne.
Oh, I thought you were making a LadderGate joke too.
No.
LadderGate.
Knock knock. Who's there? Dwayne. Dwayne who? Dwayne the Bladder. I'm drowning.
Try that.
I'll also videotape myself saying that to him. Hey, you gotta go Dwayne the Bladder?
I'm taking the Bucks in this big line because Giannis is gonna be pissed tonight.
Yeah, that's why I took the Bucks.
Man, he's gonna take it out on the poor Blazers. This Montrezl Harrell and LadderGate situation, man. He's gonna put somebody on a poster tonight. Angry Giannis, I think. That's why I'm going.
If he has a ladder celebration, I don't know what that could be like.
Climb the ladder? Well, hell, I don't know.
Dwayne actually bought us our ladder at our house. You think we should do
Wow.
something?
You got a good ladder?
I actually got my ladder's too good.
Really?
Yeah, I like the
What
old
do you
ladder
have?
we had. I don't know, it gets too tall. And it's like I don't know.
I got the gorilla, the one
Yeah,
that can fold everywhere.
I loved it. I had
Fantastic.
the gorilla. I had the gorilla. One day Dwayne shows up. He said, "I'm taking your gorilla. I'm leaving you this ladder." So now I got a too good ladder.
Oh, wow.
It folds one too many times for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like how tall it gets. It scares me.
Yeah, you get up there. I got on a ladder this weekend, and I was by a beam in my house. I almost took out a lighter to, air quotes, light the beam. But I thought, wow.
What were you doing up there? Dusting or changing the light?
Changing a lighting fixture.
Nice.
Hate changing lighting fixtures.
You got some high ceilings, man. Yeah.
That is work. I was sweating. Turned off the heat in the house. I was sweating up there. Hot air rises.
It does indeed. All right,
Learning so much.
Let's get to tweet of the night. Let's do it.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Yeah, tweet of the night. Can I just say, Jerome, you're killing it, man. Absolutely. Thumbs up from me over here. But our tweet of the night is from @CJ0. Just a simple tweet that made me chuckle, okay? It's got a photo. And the tweet says, Chris Finch looks like a guy talking to a homeowner about a roofing quote. And that's spot on.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, well, it's going to cost you, oh, geez, I got to get up there and take a look at it. It's got the arms crossed.
He's got a ladder.
He's definitely got a ladder. There's some great comments underneath this, too. Somebody said, but you got to ask yourself, how is that system going to perform over time? He looks like somebody said he gets his snacks at Menards. And then somebody said that's Johnny Lawrence. If you want to throw it back up there, Jerome, it's got a comparison to Johnny Lawrence.
He does have a
little bit
of a resemblance to him.
Yeah.
I also was reminded, didn't we have a cold open where somebody was like dressing their dog up as like the standard white guy during fall that involved putting on a flannel underneath a hoodie and some jeans?
Yeah.
That's what he's wearing.
Yeah, that was basically Chris Finch was dressed like my dad at his most dressed up.
Got a big event.
Sort of like what you're wearing, basically. I mean, if you had
Not dissimilar.
Yeah. That's very dressed up for Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah, the flannel look, arms crossed. Now he is the roofer in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. He's talking to the homeowner.
Yeah, every roofer in those commercials has their arms crossed. Right?
See?
It's totally
no
true.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Got to figure out the quote. Got to get
it's
up
a
there.
defensive position, though.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be a little more open? Like, hey, I'm going to do good things for you.
Yeah, but I want my roof closed.
Nice.
All right, let's call it there. My God, I got to go home, go to bed.
Call it.
We'll be back tomorrow. In theory, I'll be here with you guys live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Jerome, great job, man. Let's give it up for Jerome. Yeah. Well done. Unnatural.
Leave some applause in the stream team already.
Yeah. Put a thumbs up. Put a little clap emoji for Jerome. Learning the ropes from the master JD. Wow, we're going to have 2 JDs. The power of that. Oh my God, think about what we can do with that.
Jerome has to change his last name to Doyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, JD. JD.
Sorry, you are now.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
Jerome Doyle.
Sorry, Jerome.
Jerome Jason Doyle.
Jerome Deng now, maybe we'll go with.
When you said 2 JDs, I'm like, I didn't think his last name started with a D.
It's close. Very close. I think we got JC and JD. That works too. All right, guys. So send in your questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. We might hit the beach tomorrow, but we'll be back here in the Classic Factory. Make sure you check out the No Breaks Formula One season wrap-up, and the guys having a good old laugh about this nude art, this classy nude art. I guess
I should have hung this in Dwayne's room while I was here for the week.
Wow, your poor father-in-law is going to be going through it here.
That's one of the best things about having a father-in-law. Messing with your father.
Yeah,
talking trash.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so go check that out. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, we know who the best JD is, but who's the best JC that you know?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jason Concepcion's pretty good.
Great answers.
But
Really great
Jerome's the man right now.
Jose Calderon?
Pull.
JC Chazé, a little cheating there. Well done, everybody.
Embrace the day, people.